Y'all get on in here. Let's talk about the latest episode of Seeking Sister Wife, season 6, episode 10, A Married Side Chick. Y'all, this was a hot mess express. It gave you, I thought this gave you everything. It gave you drama. It gave you like a little tear jerker. It gave you funny. It gave you suspense. It gave you drama. It gave you cheating. This episode, in my opinion, was one of the best episodes that I have seen in Seeking Sister Wife in a little bit. Let's go ahead on and talk about it, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. So, honey, we got Reese and Billie Jean. Now he has been dating this young woman. Is a woman named oh my goodness, what's the child's name? Is it Rain, y'all? Hold on, let me get it right. Randy. Now he has been liking this girl Randy. Reese told him in the last episode that she felt like she was jealous, right? Because I guess, she just did not feel like, all of the things that come with having another person in your relationship was going to come with. But honey, she didn't got her a rude awakening. So they are going out right on another date. They have decided to go out. This is date number 3. And of course, Reese had already told him in last week's episode that she wanted to get to the place where she was going on some of these dates with them. So they go out on a date and everything, and they get there, and of course, they all insecure about asking her, questions and stuff like that because they really don't want to, have a whole bunch of stuff going on downtown in the relationship. So he asked, how do you feel about this, about the last encounter? And she was like, to be honest with y'all, I wasn't going to show up. Now, next week, I need to bring her picture up here, right? So she's sitting in her own little corner, like right here. Okay, she need to be sitting right here. We need to be bringing her to the table every week. But she basically was like, I wasn't going to come because of the way that you reacted. She said, I didn't like it. I felt uncomfortable and you jealous. And I don't have time for the jealousy in my life. This ain't worth it to me. I want to be able to get into this relationship and have an honest conversation with you. But the jealousy, I'm just not going to do. I ain't got it to do. And I thought that was really, 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 really very mature, very mature of Randy to straight up tell her to her face and not try to, act like it's something that it wasn't. Like, just told her straight to your face you was jealous and I wasn't going to show up. And I don't know if I'm going to continue to show up unless you can get your emotions under control. So, I mean, basically, she was like, you're right. I was jealous about the situation because I don't know whether or not you're going to walk away with my husband. And so she was like, okay, but I don't, Randy was like, okay, but I don't know whether or not I'm going to always play second fiddle to you. How about that? So I was like, oh, okay, you better go ahead on and get it straight, get the situation, the cap, and all of that kind of stuff, right? So the two of them, were very candid with one another about it. And she was like, Randy told her, she said, I don't disagree. I probably will be feeling the same way, but we need to make sure that we have open communication about this kind of stuff. Now, he took and tipped out and went to the bathroom and said that he felt like the two women needed to talk it out and then he needs to come back in. And I agree with him in a way, but he's such a coward just on a regular basis, in my opinion. But these women are going to have to talk. If they're going to be in a relationship with each other, they're going to have open, candid communication about it. I think that these women don't really realize that these men may actually fall for these women. And so when they actually see that it's happening, right, they got a problem with it. The next couple that I want to talk about, child. 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 Teresa last week sat there in that daggone people's house. When they tried to have a simple conversation for her, she got ghost. They said they ain't seen her in a minute. But before that, they was sitting there, and Jennifer was like, "Okay, I feel like we was too hard on her. We need to give her another chance." And April was like, "No, we April and Nick was like, no, we haven't even got an opportunity to enjoy your pregnancy. You're about to have a baby, and we dealing with this bullshit about her." And Nick was like, everything that's going on with Tina, the insecurities and all of that, that's all in her mind. Absolutely. Put her out. And it looks like from the previews of next week, they got her stuff packed up in a box in the garage. They was like, to the left, to the left. Everything that you own in a box to the left. As they should. Put this out. Bye. The sad part about it is that when she moved in, allegedly, she moved in with her child. So this child is not going to be able to have a place. But Nick said above everything, he doesn't want this kind of chaos and confusion in his home. And I cannot blame him. He got a good thing going. These two women take care of him. He don't do nothing but take care of the baby. And, read books to her and stuff like that. These women is going out working so this man don't have to do nothing for the rest of his life. Put her out. Put her out. Just like, last week, Nick was like, if you want to run, run. If you don't want to obey the rules and you don't want to get yourself together, you don't want to have conversations, I ain't going to let you disrupt the peace up in my household. We trying to establish some things. We trying to set some things in order, and ain't nobody got time to be playing. And it looked like her stuff is packed out in a box to the and live. Child, Yeezel and Danny. Danny took and messed up the daggone bag with Jackie. The last time we talked to her, she was on the phone with her husband and had told Yeezel that, basically, I messed up the bag, boo. I'm sorry. I apologize, but I messed the bag up. So he's like, okay, well, you know what? I'll talk about it. So, honey, he comes home. And he's like, honey, I'm home. And she's like, cooked him a meal and everything. He's standing up eating and stuff. And she's talking about, the situation. He like, what's going on? She was talking about being tired and stuff like that from having to, deal with the kids and cooking him dinner and stuff. And he was like, you wouldn't have had that to worry about if you hadn't botched the job with Jackie. I said, he ain't got no cards. He got straight to the point. You messed up with Jackie. You wouldn't have had to be. You would have had somebody in this house helping you with the kids, helping you with the meal. But no, you decided that you wanted to wait till the last minute to tell Jackie after the fact, after she done got caught up in a relationship with Yeezel, talking to him on the phone, doing what she do, doing what they do with the whoop whoop and the boop boop boop. And he was like, I ain't got this to do with you. So she's, upset. She's crying and all of this stuff. She's saying that, her having children is behind her. But she does not. She is adamant that he's not going to have a baby by somebody else. And he asked her, basically, don't you think that this is selfish? I still want to have children. He still wants to have children. He said that he had been talking to Jackie. Do y'all think he not talking to Jackie anymore? Let me know downtown in the comment section if you think he's still slipping in the slide and moving in and all that kind of stuff with Jackie in the back. I think that, the two of them ended up sitting outside and having a real serious conversation about it. And of course, she always gets emotional when she talks about the kids. And he was like, I think that she she was saying she can't have any more kids or won't have any more kids. And they got the three boys. She loves the three boys, but of course we all know she, has been very open with wanting and desiring a little girl. But she said that as far as him having a baby with someone, that's just out of the question. That's just something she's not going to do. So he's upset because he's saying you're narrowing, our what's the word? Our chances of being with someone, right? Because the typical woman may or may not want a baby. But my whole thing is just look for a woman in a certain age bracket who may not want to have kids. If you're looking for hot and sexy, young, hot and sexy, then yeah, you're gonna have to continue to weed through women, or they gonna end up weeding through y'all, right? But I'm just like, mm. Like this is too much. So anyway, after they had that conversation, she had asked him, "Is can you live the rest of your life with just the three kids you have?" And he said, yes, he can. But he said what he wants to do. He said he botched it the first time. She botched it this time. And the third time is going to be a charm. The two of them are going to come together and be in an agreement and be, and look for these people together, right? This is what they're going to do. They can get them together. This is the episode where we see that, Danielle talks to Lorena like a child. P? P? Why does she have to talk down to her? She ain't talk down to Roberta. It's just some stuff that, anyway, this is where she comes up and she finds out that she's pregnant, right? Because she had missed her cycle and whatever, whatever. Okay. Next. Ciao. Now, y'all know last week Matt messed up the bag with Shanae. And honey, she said she gonna go to her family. But they said that the girls be wearing her out downtown to the to the Reddit. They said there's a whole Reddit where they are talking about Angelina, and they said Angelica, and that she got a sister or somebody that's out there spreading the tea on her. Y'all, let me see if I can find it. Hold on, y'all. Give me the patience that y'all give me. Hold on, y'all. They said it's a sister. So there is a subreddit called R Seeking Sister Wife TLC. Um, Let me see. So somebody by the name of Five Finger Death is a family member. Hold on, y'all. Let me see how this works. No, that's not giving me what I want. Hold on, y'all. So the people out on Reddit are talking about the reaction from Angelica's family, but there is a Reddit that. So yeah, this is a sister, a family member. This five finger deaf mom, 211. So the question was asked. I wonder what Angelica told them about why they were being filmed. Five finger deaf mom 211 says she did not. Only I knew their reactions were all real. They said I was wondering was that you in the episode? She said yes, that was me. Um They said that she didn't explain. So what happened on the show, y'all, was that she, had said that she wanted to. The only reason why she was with Shanae is because she did not feel like she was getting family support from her family. And since Matt messed up the bag with Shanae, she needed to now go back to her family. She indicated that of her family, her sister was the only one that knew. So, honey, we had the mom, the aunt, the cousin, the sister, and Angelica, right? Angelica is, they in there playing like, little games and stuff like that. So, now it's time to talk. So she goes into trying to tell them about, her relationship with Shanae and that her and her husband had been dating this woman. So the aunt was like, "You a swinger? You a swinger?" When I tell you, I was hollering, and the mother was even laughing, right? And she was like, "No, I'm not a swinger. No, I'm not a swinger, right?" So they was like, "What's going on?" She said, "Matt is dating the girl, and he's doing this because I needed community." So the mother was like, "Wait a minute, what?" Y'all, when I tell you, been up there hollering because I was like, you just do not put a camera, excuse me, y'all, but you don't put a camera in front of no black family that and surprise them with some like this. You gonna get the real deal. Mama looked like she was ready to jump on Angelica just for the stupidity of what Angelica was doing. She was saying she wants to support. The sister was trying to talk to her. I guess this is the one that's out there downtown to the Reddit. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up real quick for y'all. Girl, I'm trying to tell you. She sat there and tried to and told them that the reason why it was in this relationship with Shanae is because she felt like she needed someone she could relate to who was dating the same man at the same time, and what was her perspective on it. Girl, you don't need to bring somebody in your marriage because you want to know what their perspective. All you got to do is bring your sister and your mom and them around. She was saying that she didn't have this close relationship, and the mother was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I stay there on the street." But I think that what Angelica doesn't feel like is that she's being heard because the mother was cutting her off. But the mother, the sister was like, "Mom, you got chill. Can't nobody hear nothing, right?" And so I just was like, this is something she should not have done with her family, right? She absolutely should not have done this with her family. Like, and that's on period. You don't bring your family in there and tell them something that is this serious. And don't give them a heads up that this is what you're doing. And that's what she did. And she got what she got. And they weren't listening to her. So in a way, I did feel bad because they was trying to say, the mother was like, that D ain't that good. They was like, basically, the D ain't that good. He ain't got no money. They dragged. The mother was like, whatever happened to you just having an affair? You ain't got to be bringing nobody, whatever. She was like, affairs don't work. The mother was like, the hell if they don't. Basically, spilling her tea like, honey, I'd have had me a couple of affairs or two or three or five or six. Affairs do work. The mother was like, just have a regular affair. Why bring the girl up in your life? That's when she started trying to explain, her rationale for doing this. But the mother was like, have an affair. But she wants to be the one connected. So they were trying to say that he was the one that went out and looked. And she told them unequivocally, I was the one that set up his profile. It was my decision. I was the one that was looking at the girls. I was the one that was picking. Child, the aunt was like, what in okay, their facial expressions. I was like, you just don't bring no older black women into a place like this with cameras in their face and drop something like that. The mother said, I know you love him. Okay? She said, but I promise you that the D ain't that good. He doesn't even have that much. They rid him for filth in a nice way. But honey, he got rid nevertheless. Why they brought them on here, I don't know. The mother was like, I ain't got this to do. The sister was trying to talk like it was a whole mess. Somebody named Daniela on Reddit said, I was dead. I just say you are by. Come all the way clean. Um, they're saying she needs to come clean about being bisexual. Um, Somebody named Freeboss said this was one of the most realistic reactions I have ever seen on reality TV. I loved her family. Lovely Chef said, as a black woman, this is how we react when we hold no punches, call stuff out. Yes, we do. She said, I wasn't surprised at all with their responses. um Someone named After Cheesecake said, exactly, if I told my mom and my aunts this, they would react exactly the same way. The ain't that good would have came out of somebody's mouth downtown at the table. And that's so true. I don't understand why she decided to do it the way that she did it. And she was, got emotional and was like, I'm really looking for y'all support in this. And they was like, we'll support you, but we're not going to support this. The mother was like, just have an affair or have her own girlfriends. And she was like, this isn't all about sex, right? And the aunt was like, it is for him. It is. That's exactly what it is for him. The aunt kind of tapped out, right? Because she was ready to get a little get, like her whole get was about the slip. But the mother was just in total disbelief that her daughter wanting to find her people, her community. I don't know why people say stupid stuff like that. But they was just like, no, no. The mother was like, I'll support you. She was going to say something, and the sister was like, Mom, and cut her off. And honey, the way that she was like, all right, then, like, okay, let me chill. The mother had to come to a place where she needed to pull away from the table, back up, hold up, wait a minute. That's exactly how that was. I was like, this was a big mistake. This is not how you seek. Um, you can't. So someone wrote, Loaf Lady wrote, by far one of the most authentic. You know what? Let me share it on the screen, y'all. Hold on. Let me share it on the screen so y'all can see it as well. Um, Loaf Lady said, by far one of the most authentic feeling family reactions I've seen on reality TV in a long time. Mama was unintentionally hilarious, but also the concern she had was palpable. Seemed really genuine regardless of what she presented. I thought there was an interesting paradox in her family talking about being her support system and needing Shanae, but Angelica was going to them for support and not necessarily being hurt. I do agree. I understand there was some shock factor they had to digest because that was one of the things. Angelica was like, I came to y'all to talk to y'all and look at how y'all reacted. And the mother was like, the mother and the aunt was like, we in shock. We're going to react like this because we're in shock. That said, my heart did hurt for Angelica when she went into her monologue about how she was seeking support from her family, and that's why she was there and seemingly not getting it aside from sis, who I thought was a good example of how family can still support and love you even if they don't agree with everything you do. Human condition, blah blah. Anyway, I thought this interaction with the family was really relatable to a lot of folks despite the complexities and the nuance. That was one of the things that the aunt said. Y'all are swingers, child. I'm gonna tell you that thing was hilarious. Um, so Pink, is it Pint? Whatever. Said, okay, I truly see Angelica in this episode. She longs for emotional intimacy and a deeper connection with someone outside of her marriage because she clearly is not getting. I would even go a step farther and say she may even be, y'all see it on the screen. The chef said, I'm torn. Her family are some real folks, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do, which is keep it real with her. At the same time, they overtalked her way too much and had no desire to at least hear her out, which is what she was hoping to get from them. Her aunties were ignorant as F, and her mom was not too far behind, which made me feel for Angelica at the moment. Her sister was the only one who tried to be a voice of reason. Angelica needs to speak up for herself more with everyone in her life, including her whack sister wife. Okay? Anyway, as you can see, emotions are raw when it comes down to this. But what I did hear is that there is a sister or someone who has been on Reddit as a sister that's been spilling all of Angelica's tea. I believe that too, Eugenia. G Devo said embarrassing. I really felt like the family, because of the cameras, held back, especially the aunt. Her mother had to keep telling her to be quiet. She's the one that would have really could be spoke the truth. Okay. I think Angelica is looking for that support, but you don't find that support by having your husband sleep with the woman. There are other ways of finding a support group, if you will, right? That will help her. That's just my opinion about it. Anyway, I ain't gonna hold y'all no longer. Today is day 25, y'all. No stop, nonstop November, and I'm so proud of myself. Y'all, I have been doing a video every day for the last 25 days. I am so proud of myself. I got 5 more days to go. Y'all think I can do it? Is it 5 more days? Yeah, I got like 5 more days to go. Y'all, this has been an experience. And I thank y'all for every time I upload a video that y'all come on here and y'all click it, y'all like it, and y'all comment. I finally got my comments fixed. Have y'all noticed? I've been interacting with the comments. I'm just happy. Like I said, this is 25 days and I'm so proud. I'm going to see if I could do the same thing and don't stop December. Anyway, I love y'all. Y'all let me know downtown in the comments section. What you say, G Debo? I've enjoyed your video all month. Thank you, G Debo. Y'all let me know in the comments section what y'all think. Love y'all. Bye.